Alright, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This entire next bit of Kirby and the Forgotten Land is unfortunately going to have to be Post-Comm.
Because either Discord or Google or something didn't like me that day, and insisted, how about I only save half your audio, even though I made certain it recorded all of our session.
I'm glad the scare chord and the music played, like, right after you finished your little introduction, James Man.
Yeah, welcome everybody to the Grand Redgar.
The Redgar Forbidden Lands, the volcano-centric area of the game, and also where, like, the very core of where this entire civilization came from. Like, it just...
Hold up.
It's literally hell on Earth.
Wait one moment, mister. I thought the game was the Forgotten Lands, not the Forbidden Zone.
Well, now we know why it was forgotten.
Oh, right, because it's Crisis City.
It's forbidden!
There are forbidden parts of the Forgotten Land. They're even more forgotten, if you will.
It's the West Wing.
I mean, how could you really forget that classic all-time quote? The whole city's on fire!
That tornado's carrying a...
Tornado's carrying a tornado!
Just a
The city is so on fire that there's barely any city left.
Whoa, what a great view!
And also, I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, remembering Jackie Dexter. Oh my gosh, Rock City's on fire! One heck of a party.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing this post-con, which will give us the opportunity to, talk and remark on some things that we wouldn't have noted otherwise when we were doing live, which is, again, we're still going for all the Waddle Dees we can. Doug is going to be sitting out this time because once was enough for him. And
Yeah, no, he needed a drink after that whole session was done.
I mean, it makes sense. You're surrounded by heat.
Yeah.
he needed a pick-me-up.
He needed a drinko.
Though, to be honest, I don't know if the particular drink he wanted to have would really help with dehydration.
Well, what kind of drink was he getting?
You got me. You ask him.
man.
Let's just say it's adult juices.
Okay, well, that isn't very hydrating at all.
No, it isn't. It's the exact opposite.
We call that daddy juices, dear.
Daddy.
But what if mommies wanted?
Mommy can have it too.
Though I guess, to look at the glass half full here, at least we, the commentators, could see the game running at 60 FPS.
Yes!
Yep.
Indeed.
I mean, normally Logan was the only one that had that privilege on a consistent basis.
Which makes me
Yeah.
sad, because I like looking at this game in 60 FPS. Why don't
Thank
you do it
you.
more often, Nintendo?
Right,
Well, you can blame Hal
Hal
for that. They were the ones that made this.
Right.
Well, no, I can't blame Hal, but I can sure as hell blame Nintendo.
But I can't kick this door down. Anywho.
I can't blame the people that made the game, but I can blame the people that only published it.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's our main goal for right now. Is we're just gonna do what we do.
Because Hal is very pure and innocent, and then they do no wrong, right?
Just
Yeah.
like Kirbo.
Never. Also, we thought there'd be something in there. Oh well. I guess something we had not yet brought up. I don't think, at least not at this point yet. Was once again, I want to say the soundtrack is still synthesized, but it is. It is easy now one of my favorite soundtracks in Kirby-dom.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely know what they were doing with this game's soundtrack, and I'm still hard pressed to say if it's my favorite of the entire thing or not. But there's at least a handful of songs that I do think are easily some of the best of the series. One of which I can't really spoil right now.
Yes, that'll be later. But oh my gosh, it's gonna be great.
Well, the other one
It's
you could say is...
fantastic.
If I may throw my hat into the ring, I think it's a decent soundtrack, but it's not my favorite.
what would you say is your favorite?
Yeah.
Wait, those spotlights are standing on nothing. Oh wait, no, they're on
They're on
stilts.
wall.
I thought they were just floating there.
Okay, don't worry.
What would be my favorite Kirby soundtrack? I'd say probably 64 or Triple Deluxe.
That's definitely up there. I mean, as far as my favorites go, like, at least among the top 5, I'd definitely say Return to Dreamland as well up there.
That's a good one.
I mean, the final boss music in Triple Deluxe is absolutely my favorite final boss theme in the series.
That's fine. Granted, this is mostly nostalgia talking, but I do still have a soft spot for Superstar Ultra's soundtrack.
That's
Oh yeah,
fair.
that soundtrack's pretty good.
Let's see. And Planet Roboba as well.
I definitely will agree that I think Triple Deluxe has a better soundtrack than Planet Robobot, but the stuff that's really good in that soundtrack are really damn good. Sometimes, some of which I'd say even are better than a good handful of the tracks you find in Triple Deluxe.
The only reason I don't rate Triple Deluxe better is because I still haven't played it for myself.
I mean, nowadays I don't blame you, considering the 3DS is pretty much dead.
Yeah.
And good luck finding a physical copy if you do still have a 3DS on hand.
I still have 3DS XL and 2DS.
Oh.
Yeah,
Why do
but
Iki, why do you get to have 2 3DSs?
because I was a spoiled little baby in college times. Also, my 2DS's micro SD kind of went kaput, so either I somehow get that recovered, or all my game data is basically gonzo.
Oh.
Oof.
We can't.
I'm not too worried. I haven't touched the thing in a while. Well, I mean, the last time I actually picked up the 3DS was in preparation for Forgotten Land, actually.
Ah.
Because I wanted to replay the the last good 2D games before we get into the first great 3D game.
Rogan,
Good.
were you about to bring something up, Logan? It sounded like you were repressing a laugh there.
Let's do this.
Oh, with him saying Gonzo, it's like with a gun.
You're going to catch the bullet, right?
Right? Technically. But you're saying that. You know what you should do? You should shoot yourself out of a cannon. I should shoot myself out of a cannon. Yeah, what I've been doing on the show every year.
Yeah. Oh, what's the matter? You chicken?
Let's do this.
Just the look of like,
Gonzo, do you? It's like, Fozzie, do you even know what that is? I don't think even Gonzo knows what he is. I think he's really gonna hurt himself. You think he took break a leg that seriously?
No, I think that was a cry for help.
Yeah, admittedly, I did have to redo this part of the stage like twice, only
Oh,
because
with
I
those falling
didn't realize
rocks, yeah.
that you actually have to spray away the fireballs before they break the terrain. Otherwise, you're not getting that
there you go.
Waddle-Dee.
Yeah.
Well, also the fact that like the way they have it set up is there's an extra water spout like just before this room that if you miss it, you're pretty much like you're never gonna find all 7 of those meteorites in time.
Yeah.
I just like with that last sword guy, it's like you didn't even bother copying its power, you just want to be a jerk to him.
I mean, honestly, there comes a point where, like, more often than not, I usually just try to go pro bono once I reach the goal.
Do I
look? Some... Go ahead.
I was just doing this. That was my response to hype. Is, do I look like I need your power?
Do I
Yeah.
think I need your pollo?
I just shoots him.
I see that. I see the commercial for that movie on Fios all the time.
Oh, for
Because,
Sonic 2?
because they have like the thing on demand. But it's like I already watched this. I want to watch it again.
Well, what if they want other people to watch it?
Okay, then they get advertised to them, not me, because I already
That'll be
watched
good.
it on their friggin' service.
Yeah, that'll be their thing.
Well, that's the thing, that they can't predict who sees it. They don't know you're going to be seeing it.
Sure, they can't.
They do it to taunt me.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, if you wanted them to advertise anything to you at that point, what would you want them to advertise, like, on a regular basis?
If they could advertise anything to me directly.
Also,
on my
yes, I know
television-
Cassidy, that is a very tantalizing spot. Unfortunately, that is literally one of the last things we'll have to be doing in this playthrough.
We'll have to come back later.
Yeah, any meandering that they do here is just them trying to find any hidden areas.
This way. And this is the
Onward!
book. Now
me!
James gets to know what it feels like to watch the game.
I get to watch myself play the game? Oh, woe is me.
Yeah, great. Fair.
I get
So,
to
yeah.
watch a video game? I'm the worst.
So, so how about that whole story where randomly Kirby grew a plant on his head?
What?
They grew a plant on his head? That's safe?
Did you not see the new Kirby storybook thing that they posted today?
Oh!
No, I forgot they were
saw
still
that,
doing
but
those, actually.
I saw that, but I didn't know it was canon.
I mean, it's just simple Kirby bedtime story sort of stuff. I mean, whether it's canon or not is up to you, but that's like the one storybook thing out of all of them where Kirby got away with manslaughter.
If I've learned anything from the Kirby franchise, is that everything matters in some way.
I was about to say, like, I like how you make a big deal about him getting away with manslaughter in that story when can't that just be described about any Devil Damn Kirby game?
Well, I mean, it's because the Kirby, like, the storybook stuff is usually treated so wholesomely, and then there's the whole point where, like, Kirby and the Plant decide to have a big breakfast, casually eating a Waddle-Dee and Waddle-Doo in the process.
What? Is that actually part of the short?
Yes.
What the fuck? How does the plant do that?
Well, not the Plant, just Kirby. I mean, the Plant's just sticking around on Kirby's head just because, you know, the whole short is technically, like, the whole title of it's called Together with Kirby, and it's all about this Plant being, you know, with Kirby on one of his, like, just sticking around with Kirby for a day.
Oh, so
Or at least days on end, rather. Like, it grew up with Kirby.
So does this plant that's on Kirby's head, is there, like, any significance to it being on Kirby's head, or is it just, like, a leaf that fell on and Kirby just didn't feel like taking it off?
Kirby just woke up one day, suddenly a little sprout popped up on his head.
Did it end up being the final boss of the story that was actually using Kirby as, like, a host to grow power?
No, but it did briefly die on his head.
Oh, no.
And then it grew to one of those... They're not dandelions, but they're like those little white puff sort of flowers that spread a whole bunch of other seeds.
I'm pretty sure those are
dandelion?
I thought dandelions were yellow.
No, they're white. I mean, they can be yellow, but they're mostly seen white.
That's fair. So I knew I wasn't bullshitting. I thought for sure I wasn't bullshitting about that, but yeah, no, it turned into a dandelion and it flew away. All the little seeds just going on its merry way because they knew they had to go.
Oh.
But yeah, no, it's one of those things where if you ever have the time to spare, I'd say give it a watch.
Okay.
I mean, it's no different than most of the other Kirby storytime stuff. It's very much it's very much meant for kids, but you know, there's still a nice wholesomeness to it, kind of like a Winnie the Pooh story.
If Winnie the Pooh decide to eat people.
I mean, I guess if you want to consider honey people.
I mean,
I don't know.
Has he ever referred to a friend as honey?
Not as far as I know.
It would have gotten very awkward if he did.
You see, that's why you can't trust anything.
Can't. Not even your greatest enemy.
Not even Squidward's house.
I was about to say, not even Piglet?
Especially
Piglet.
Trust no one.
No one.
And from that day forward, Pooh was on his own, fending for himself, surviving till the very last man gets slaughtered at his hands.
Yeah, considering a movie that came out not long ago, I don't know if I want to continue that joke.
Fair. And neither does Kirby, because now he's just checking to see what other treasures he missed.
I'm just more so depressed that trend's still going to be continuing, but now they're going to sully Peter Pan's hands.
You mean to say that Disney didn't already sully it?
Well, no, my thing is that, like, and I bring up the Winnie the Pooh one because it's going to be the same producers. Now they're going to make a horror story based on Peter Pan, because, you know, the horror never gets tired of taking childlike concepts and making them bloodthirsty.
I mean, that's just kind of how it is sometimes, playing up what used to be seen as innocent, childlike story. Oh, okay, not even like innocent childlike stories, because some of these fairy tales end up being dark in and of themselves anyway. Oh yeah, by the way, this is something I remember Iki bringing up during our initial recording of this game, or this part. This entire sequence is based off of Kirby's Blowout Blast, which was a short-term 3DS game, which pretty much plays up like a 3D interpretation of Kirby's Dream Land.
Right.
3D interpretation / score attack.
Essentially.
It was also a minigame in, I want to say Robobot?
I thought it was Triple Deluxe.
No, it was Planet Robobot. For that game, they called it Kirby's 3D Rumble, and all it was just a simple gauntlet, whereas with Blow Up Blast, they at least made the effort to try to make actual level design out of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still primarily stuff like this.
Gotcha.
Which, you know, I'll still say for what it's worth, like, I've brought this up time and again, but I do still have to applaud Hal for making the effort to try and make steps to translate, you know, Kirby's traditional gameplay into 3D, like even before Forgotten Land. Like previously we had, Blow Up, Blast Dash, 3D Rumble, and beforehand I still thought it was a fine enough game, but I can understand why people didn't think too much of it. Kirby Battle Royale, which was essentially just a whole mini party game-a-thon sort of thing where basically you took control of any given copy ability, and it was also given what's the word?
Like a top-down fighter?
Essentially. Think of it kind of like the 3D equivalent to Beautiful Joe Red Hot Rumble.
I think the only major significant thing I hear people talk about with it is that it's one of the few Kirby games that actually give Sleep a more thorough moveset aside from just sleeping.
Yes, they actually gave Sleep a moveset, and I believe that was post-launch content as well.
And now that I think about it, that was just before Forgotten Land, that was just kind of a thing that HAL liked doing with Kirby, taking a bunch of games that were originally just side games and just turning them into full-fledged solo adventures.
Yeah, I mean even now they still do that every once in a while, with that whole Super Kirby Clash thing.
Yeah,
and Fighters.
Huh. Well, I mean, to be fair, that was a good before Forgotten Land came out, because I don't know if they really still intend on doing it, because I know Dream Buffet wasn't really based on anything this game had.
Nah, not really, though. You could definitely make an argument they were I mean, I don't know. I feel like there had to have been some semblance to, well, actually, I was about to say there's got to be some semblance to that whole Tilt and Roll Kirby minigame, but then again, I just realized that by technicality, Dream Buffet came out only mere months after Forgotten Land, so it had to have been developed, right around the same time.
Actually, you're right. I forgot that they were released that close within each other.
And I mean, it's even more crazy thinking about it, because in a few months from now is when we're going to get that Return to Dreamland Deluxe game.
Oh, there is that too.
It's weird to think that it's only now going to be released in a couple of months at this time of this recording.
Yeah? I mean, say whatever you will about HAL, but they've certainly been, they've been feeding the good boy well this 30th anniversary.
I mean, his appetite is, insatiable. He's basically a walking black hole.
Practically bottomless.
Anyway, how are you doing, Mr. Logan?
Yeah, he's been quiet.
Doing pretty. I've been hanging out there. I'm doing all right. How about you guys?
Well, I'm doing good, but I want to make sure you are courteous to make sure I get a say in videos. I want to return that courtesy and let you talk.
Well, as the resident Bandana D, I've been doing pretty okay, all things considered. Knowing that we've been able to do our best to knock out as many of these challenges as we could. It is still our goal. It is still our goal to get every single one of these Waddle Dees as best we can. I will still say that I enjoyed the soundtrack a lot. It's Ice Slip and Spell my favorite. Next maybe would be Superstar Ultra, maybe.
Superstar. Oh, wait. As far as what are you talking? As in
soundtracks, he said.
It was around this time of the original recording that I told you guys to go back for that bomb enemy, only because you needed to defeat the mini boss coming up.
Yeah, you needed to get an optional Waddle Dee.
We need the crash bomb for that.
Unfortunately, it's another one of those cases in this game where the enemy simply doesn't respawn.
Yeah, like I said, they save for very specific enemies, they completely abolished the whole Kirby tradition of having enemies respawn. And I mean, this is the one case where it makes sense, considering that's how Kirby gets his copy abilities. Mm-hmm. But I guess because the world is so expansive, I don't know. I guess something had to have happened to make them change their minds.
I know.
Not for nothing. I do think maybe if there's ever a proper successor to Forgotten Land, they could honestly just do, well, if not pretty much the same thing that Klonoa does, where once an enemy is defeated and you take its power,
a portal opens and spits out a copy of the enemy.
Yeah, I mean, hell, Forgotten Land already does that with those exceptions where you do see an enemy respawn if they know that they want you to have it for that sequence.
I just think it's something where especially if it's going to be a puzzle, especially if it's related to a puzzle that it's entirely possible to miss just because you weren't even aware. I mean, because that's the other issue is that some of these Waddle Dees, not all of them, but definitely some of these Waddle Dees are I'd be very surprised if somebody figured it out without the prompt telling them to on their first try through a level. Not all of them, but there are definitely a couple.
There's a handful that you could definitely argue are obtuse.
I think it's a little bit more obtuse when it comes to the boss levels, mainly because some of the goals in order to save Waddle Dees.
Got it.
And Waddle Dee was like, "Don't worry, I got this."
I got him. You go on ahead.
Yeah, a couple of the objectives for saving Waddle Dees from boss fights requires you to basically beat the boss and then unlock a clue one by one in case you haven't unlocked Waddle Dee yet.
Right.
I've brought it up before and I'll say it again. When it comes to our playthrough of this game, well, I mean, it's not going to matter too much now considering after this, we're going to be straight into post-game. We primarily just focused on the Waddle Dees we know that are actually visible on the field. Like, those that require you to do a random something were not of our highest priority.
Correct. That being said, like, unless I'm mistaken, but, like, before we did the Post-Comm of this, like, didn't Logan actually go back and try to get as many of the Waddle Dees as we missed?
Oh, that's still there. Oh, I lost my extra health bar. That is still the case, and so yes, after. So again, to clarify, everything that is prior to the credits, everything prior to the credits is still going to be post-comm. But once we see the credits and beat the base game, but oh boy, that means James, you and Hype have got to do the dialogue again and don't mess up.
We'll be fine.
But in addition to that, after that, we'll be picking back up where we left off live. And and yes, I will have gotten every Waddle Dee except for one that we can show off getting all of them.
Yep, because I do want to show off that neat little something you get for saving every single Waddle Dee before we do the post game. Because after that, there's no need to worry about rescuing Waddle Dees.
Yep.
And in all fairness, what you do get for saving every Waddle Dee is in fact a neat, a little, and a something.
Yep,
pretty much.
We'll see. And besides, yeah, I know, dang stretch marks. And besides, even though we won't have to worry about saving Waddle Dees anymore, doesn't mean that we're not going to have. Doesn't mean it's going to be just a full-on, just straight shoot to the finish. They're just going to give us something new to rescue.
Yeah, which thankfully isn't nearly as troublesome.
Yeah.
Namely, in that, well. You know what? No. I will save that discussion for when we actually get to the post.
We will. For now, we gotta pretend as though we're right back where we were 3 hours ago. So
3 hours ago? You mean 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, while you saved that Waddle Dee, I saved the ice cream.
And donut.
And
donut. Priorities.
Snacks. It's important.
Said the Ice Valkyrie.
That is... Kirby can feel fabulous. Okay, we're also getting close to the end, so now we're going to want to get very clever with a ring mouth Kirby. We can find one. But while we do with that, I will say that having listened back to some of the music again... Sorry, it keeps going back to music with me, but I've just been listening back
You're
to
fine.
it. I am curious to see if they have other new plans with Kirby, or if they're just going to keep to the, spin-off every year in between. Like, I wonder how many more spin-offs we'll get before the next major installment.
I'm not sure, to be honest, because, not for nothing, imagine how funny it would be if there was a more dedicated take on that whole, like, side gig minigame in Waddle Dee Town.
I am curious about, like, as far as, like, that whole notion of, like, you mentioned that there was, like, a kind of a thing where it's like they usually have, like, at least one side game between main game. Would we count the port of Return to Dreamland as a main game, or is that just, like, another, like, part of the side game thing?
I guess it depends on how much the remake adds to the base game.
Well, so far it sounds like they're adding a decent chunk. Like, again, they're bringing in, like, an entire set, like, whole minigame castle that Magalar's hosting.
Is it a minigame castle, or is it just, like, something else? Or, you know what it could be? It could be, like, a remake of those, what is it? It was like a Dream Collection.
Almost missed that landing.
I think it was like the Kirby's Dream Collection for the Wii.
Yes.
They could be remaking the exclusive challenge stages from that.
I mean, that would be pretty cool, too. Like, if they actually add all that back, along with the, often-forgotten Smash ability.
I don't think they're going to add in Smash ability.
Well, no, I'm just saying that because technically that was something they included in that whole Dream Collection.
Was
that
it?
was one of the that was an exclusive power up to that collection.
I mean, they're adding in Mecha Kirby, so
wasn't also an Amazing Mirror?
Yeah, it was. In fact, it got started Amazing Mirror if you don't count Smash 64.
Like, I think the last, to my knowledge, I think the last mainline Kirby game it appeared in was Robobot.
Yes, it was. And you can only find it in Hell Rooms, as far as I'm aware, or if you used a specific amiibo.
Yep. And we almost got it.
I mean, if you were just playing the game normally, you sure as hell weren't going to find it.
Nope. Just gotta position
Unless you keep a close eye out. If you know how to look
There we
for
go.
secrety secrets.
like this. We know how to get. We know to find secrets. We know our ways around secrets.
But wasn't the UFO ability locked behind Amiibo? Or am I thinking Star Allies?
No, Robobot. It was locked behind Amiibo.
Weird.
I think it was the regular Kirby amiibo.
Yes.
Yeah, not the Smash Kirby.
The official Kirby line. Really, the official Kirby line Kirby amiibos. There you go.
Third time's the charm, as they say.
We get one of the most broken power-ups in the game, which, yes, I will agree, I did spam this a few times when trying to get all the Waddle Dees.
It's damn near essential for those boss fight specific challenges.
Yep. So,
And when we get to it, it'll be very handy in the arenas.
what did we miss?
Yeah.
Right, the crash.
Yep, there's that.
So I'll have
Again,
yes, I will.
we didn't make a big deal out of it because honestly, again, what's the fun in really seeing that whole prop pop up anyway? And I love how it took us this long just to get the Woofy figurine.
Look at the fluffy boy.
Oh, woofy.
Yep, the fluffy boy that you don't see in these parts.
Bork
He's
Brack.
not doing too well.
Yeah,
But yes.
And then there's this thing.
Hey.
Hi.
I just love how he just kind of sitting there like, hello.
Is it me you're looking for? Can somebody get this thing off my butt?
If I had the choice between the two of you, I would have taken the seasick crocodile.
I'm very tired.
Funny how we're saying we're doing all that just before Christmas, and this is likely going to get posted after Christmas.
Most likely. But until then, we have the final Howl Room to show them.
Oh boy!
Right after
is-
these messages from our sponsor.
And also a trip right back to Waddle Dee Town.
Oh yeah, because we want to get the Space Ranger.
AKA our sponsors.
We spared no expense to get this whole gear updated.
Space Ranger is very handy to have it. Any.
Gotta be nice and strunk.
But yeah, I guess there's another thing I should bring up real quick. I know during our initial recording of this, I did, out of pure obligation, bother to show off us talking to the smart Waddle Dee over there, but then I realized, this might not be worth really keeping, because again, I don't really care for the guy.
He's a dork, and he's a dork that pales in comparison to Professor Pack.
Exactly. He's just a Waddle imitator.
That's all it is.
He only went to community college.
And I'm pretty sure he's not even reading from an actual book. He's just reading from a Tinder.
A Tinder-shaped book.
I was like, actually, like, what are you talking about? But it's like, oh, that's right, Tinder. Oh, I'm old.
Get to work.
Okay, Mr. Hammer it away, and it is done, sir. I've created.
Buzz Lightyear!
No, it stores now. He can fly. Oh, he flies. Buzz Light. I just said he can fly. He flies.
Available now at all Al's Toy Bar and outlets in the Tri-County area.
Oh my gosh, I need that shot of adrenaline. So as we go off today, while he's like, I don't know if I should have given those boys a rail cannon. Hurry up.
Oh, it can't be true. I could Kirby if I wanted to.
This evolved copy ability is the best in the game.
Yes, it is.
You know, next to a big hammer man.
It gives you full ammo, man. It gives you full range. Obviously, it gives you full range. You can charge it, and this will stun them and keep them locked into place. So it's great for delaying bosses. And since it does slow them down, if you time it properly, you can chain them with these with those black hole bombs.
And say if you do a traditional Dark Souls / Bayonetta dodge, you get a shit ton more shots.
Oh yeah, it fires like a 3-round like rapid burst.
Yep, which you can spam at least 3 times per dodge, I want to say.
I think so.
Like, again, that mixed with the power potion absolutely wrecks bosses.
I guess you could say it's bonkers. But
Ha.
wait, no, it's on hammer.
I remember it was that. I remember it was that power up. I think that was the only one to ever like. That was the only one that I actually put more. What am I trying to say? That was one of the rare copy abilities that I actually put more ability stones
Copy
into to
power
level it up,
into.
to put it to level it up to +1. Which, if anyone was curious, once you get up to that point, all the +1, 2s, and 3s do. All that is it's just. You're just upping the invisible number stats behind a weapon or ability and how much damage it does.
I kind of wish there were a way to see in-game how much power each individual attack has behind it.
Yeah.
Again, it's still so weird to think that the one big sacrifice to making the big 3D Kirby game is a much more neutered pause menu that doesn't give you any of the juicy strats most other Kirby games do.
Mm-hmm. It's the grand adventure that any child would ever want. Power.
Yeah,
And look at that.
and bright rock candies.
Aww.
Delicious.
I need to see if they get that. That's right. The thing I was going to remind myself I was going to do was that now that it is finally not Halloween time, I can maybe get a caramel apple cider from Starbucks.
Congratso.
That is the prime. That's my primary mission right now for this next week. Maybe I'll find something.
That is the only reason I tolerate November.
I
I'll
must.
just drink apple cider.
And then
Or just
Hype
apple juice, I don't know.
will cut to me on the sidewalk saying, "I must complete the mission." And I run like freaking proud guy, dude.
You run like the Dickens.
No, Hype. I run like the dude from the Proud Family. After he said he would, after he said he would complete the mission.
I know Oscar's run. I'm just saying, who's to say you can't have that playing while you're doing the run?
It would look ridiculous. Anyway, welcome everybody
It looks
to
ridiculous as it is.
Anyway, welcome everybody to the last level that will have a HAL level in it that we're gonna try and find.
The third and final HAL room in the game.
Also, I hope y'all don't have Kirby 64 PTSD.
Whoosh.
It's not as punishing, thank goodness, but doesn't mean we're not
It
gonna.
is punishing in one regard, but that's only in that one regard.
But James, man, the walls would be coming from the top down, not from side to side.
Asher.
You ain't scaring me.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Okay, but now I'm scared because my copy ability is dead.
He was
Yeah.
he was too young. Okay. Okay, come on. It's gotta
I
be
will
another
say,
fire
I do
up.
like the music during this stage.
It's grungy. It's industrial.
It's grungy and honestly it gives me a very mild, it makes me think back to, there's a, you know what, no, I guess I should, it does, in some way, does kind of remind me of, oh god,
Oh,
Close save.
But that was close.
and I got to save cover, which is definitely gonna make when I screw up later look all the more embarrassing that I managed to survive this, but not the actual next challenge. Anyway,
I mean, you said, what, was it you or was it me that got, that made the idiotic, got the idiotic crush?
I believe it was me who got crushed by the thing. But anyway, so in order to get to the HAL room, Iki was telling us in post,
You have to go sit on that chair over there.
don't sit in my chair.
It's my chair, and we talked about this.
Kirby, what are you gonna do at a control power in a nuclear reactor?
And then he yelled at us, "Get out! Get out! Get out!" And we're running like, "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry." Run!
You might notice that these walls are moving in and out much quicker than before.
Yes, they are.
They are.
I think Kirby doesn't know how to work a control panel, so...
Thus
that's
fueled
fine.
by Icky's red.
And yeah, okay, no, we both did. We both made the goof up.
Okay, yeah. So there's a challenge that says don't get crushed. Anyway, but yes, these new devices fueled by Icky's red anger, scared us and forced us to retreat out of this entire
I'm sorry, Logan.
facility.
Let me add on to that. Fueled by Iki's red anger from seeing those stupid penguins in the Mario movie trailer.
Every penguin,
Calm down
every
there.
one of them.
The second he heard the King Penguin talk, it's that clip of SpongeBob where Plankton's yelling at Mr. Krabs going, "Get out!"
Oh, that's great.
Admittedly, I kind of calmed down over all that.
I know, it's
That's
just
good.
that, like, for some reason, we were just surprised and amused by just how visceral that initial reaction was.
Because,
Yeah.
well, Illuminati Entertainment has to do the funny, ironic humor, gahoy.
I was about to say that's what I was about to say that's what I took away from it was Icky's watching the trailer, and by the way,
Yo.
What's in there?
Nothing!
Man.
You know, it would have been cool if they put in like a pixelated Kirby or something in there, but then I realized, no, that'd be kind of creepy.
You know what? No, you say that, a thought occurred to me. Instead
It's around the clock! I come in Ragnarok!
Make sure to crush your audio when you say that, Logan.
I mean,
Actually,
if
you know what I
remember
think would be
to, what
funny?
was that at?
Oh, free drinks!
860 of them.
Like, you say that joke about the 8-bit Kirby in there. Instead, just take the model that they have of Retro Kirby and have it hanging in there.
Yeah.
Or, you know, they could have done something where, like, if you wait long enough in here with, like, doing nothing, that a doorway would appear inside the jar and take you to like, yet another secret room.
Oh yeah.
Oh lord, like this game needs to go that deep with its secrets.
I mean, they've done it before in, like, I want to say either Robobot or Triple Deluxe.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, but I mean, I don't know why, I'm just only thinking, it would be kind of a minor spoiler, but a part of me wouldn't mind seeing, like, in there, it's like, it's not even so much a pixelated Kirby, but like, it's a pixelated, somewhat, slightly, pixelated in the sense, in the censorship sense.
Oh,
of,
like
of
a
the final
censored
boss.
version of the final boss.
Oh.
Yes.
I mean,
Like, this thing is too hot for virgin eyes.
all you got. I mean, the quickest way to do it would be like, I'm sure there's some filter that you can like zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out to like make it something become very bit crushed.
Oh,
So
easily.
have it blurry, and then now it's just like kind of animated slightly. I'm sure there's a filter something like that. But anyway, we get a time crash. We get a time crash for our troubles. And
Time and space will break at my whim.
yeah, I know. But now, for some reason, what I'm thinking of is that basically all I'm thinking back to suddenly is instead freaking. It's just the fact that when Icky first heard the penguins, oh nice! That when he first heard the penguin, the first thing he just it becomes Patrick looking at his hand when he thought that was his gift, and he's just like, oh, this is gonna be a silly movie.
This is going to be a really shitty movie, isn't it?
That's shitty. It was just gonna be silly. I gotta make sure to get the cup of coffee.
You mean Mario is silly? What kind of heathen talk is that?
I think
No, I mean,
Mitchell?
I tend to be very pessimistic when it comes to Illuminati Entertainment because they put
Right.
in the least amount of effort in order to make the big buckaroos at the movie theaters.
I bet
It's
next
like-
you're gonna say... Sorry.
It's like, what the fuck ever. I don't give a shit about Minions other than they're just Twinkies in denim. But then you get shit like Sing and Sing 2. It's like, what? It's just talking, dancing animals, the movie.
That's a lot of Disney movies.
I mean, I'll give them credit. I kind of like some of the covers, and I think one of my favorite things I've heard someone mention about the first
We need
Sing,
fire.
at least. Oh, yeah, we need fire. One of my favorite things I've heard someone say about the first Sing is that the gorilla, he's voiced by Taron Egerton, and he sings I'm Still Standing, and someone said, okay, if this movie had to exist to get him to play Elton John, so be it.
And it did, and I think he was a decent Elton John.
I thought they got Bruno Mars to voice the gorilla.
Nope. That was Taron Egerton from from Kingsman fame, and some people theorize and believe it was his cover of "I'm Still Standing" that led scouts to want to have him play Elton John in the biopic.
Huh?
Yeah,
you,
Rocket
you,
Man.
you didn't see the movie Rocket Man?
No. I saw Elton John live a couple years ago, though.
Okay, so there was a movie called Rocket Man, which is basically trying to be for. It was basically like, if you can think that video game remakes was all the rage in 2017, and Disney live-action remakes have been all the rage since never, then in the last 4 to 5 years, we've been seeing a new uptick in musician movie documentary films. With if Sammy is to be believed, very mixed to middling executions at time. Yeah, she did not care for Elvis.
I mean, I heard good things about Elvis, but I still haven't seen it.
If there's anything good to be said about Elvis, she definitely did not think it was Tom Hanks, unfortunately.
Did he die on the toilet ingesting a peanut butter and banana sandwich?
Well, no, I thought the problem, it wasn't so much with Elvis himself, it's just how they portrayed the other people around him.
Alright, we
Oh,
missed the
that's
secret
just-
over there in the top left corner.
Yeah.
Waddle Dee got a little too impatient that day.
Also, hey, remember Kirby 64? Because I sure do.
But it's just a normal secret. It's not an actual, like, required secret.
I think one that's going to be really interesting from what I've seen is I'm going to be very interested to see how Weird turns out, because from what I understood, it's purposely going to be, like, the least like Weird Al's life possible, which is what Weird Al himself wanted.
I mean, why would you want someone else playing Weird Al and make it as Weird Al as possible?
Because,
Only Weird Al can do that.
Well, I mean, from what I've seen and heard, like, Daniel Radcliffe was not a bad impersonation of him.
I just find it weird that they got, you know, Nigel Planter, the actor guy, to play Weird Al. Not that I'm against Radcliffe.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, like, they want someone to play a younger Weird Al.
And again, it's all meant to be a joke. It's a funny. It's a silly. Everybody, haha! Look at the guy go.
Also, hey, you like fitting shapes into holes?
Dude, I love this game show. I loved watching that video of it on YouTube 8-9 years ago.
I don't know what game show you're talking about, but I trust you.
It's a famous video. Look up Human Tetris Game, and it's supposed to be a Japanese game show called Hole in Wall or something like that. Where
Oh, there was like a show on Cartoon Network that was basically that.
yeah, I want to say it came to the States because like all good things, we basically copied them on it. But yeah, basically that's the idea. Is you have to stand on a like 4-foot like rectangle or something. Can't move from it, and you don't know what shape you're about to try and make to squeeze in through the gap until it's revealed in front of you. And then you got like 5 seconds as this thing's coming towards you to hopefully get in the right position, or else you get dunked in the water.
You know, going back real quick, like, I don't know if we ever talked or joked about this. How do you think the Waddle-Dees feel whenever they see, like, a mouthful mode Kirby? Like when James had the cone in his mouth, how do you think the Waddle-Dees feel about, like, this weird triangular Kirby just waddling towards them?
What's wrong with your face?
I like to think there's just one optimistic one. It's like, look, guys, it's our savior. It's
The
just
cone!
by the way, isn't he? Don't look at the happy little ape. When they show their teeth like that, they're very happy to see you, right?
No.
In fact, it's actually a great form of aggression in showing them that they're gonna kill you.
Well, it's working now.
Said one to the other in their official notes.
And the funny part is that I'm pretty sure they did that because it actually is accurate that when chimpanzees show their teeth, it's not because they're happy to see you.
They are not happy. In fact, and if you ever see that, do not smile back at them because they will take that as a challenge of, yes, you are agreeing to this challenge and I'm going to claw your face off.
Don't stop, they take that as a challenge.
Are you threatening me?
Maybe.
Threatening me. That's right. I don't think we discussed this already, but also Icky finally got around to showing us Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Well, you guys seeing it.
We should watch the sequel soon.
Well, let's say now, is there anything that we need to watch before Do the Universe?
No.
Okay.
All right, with that all said, ladies and gentlemen, that is part 1 of our 3-part going back to our recorded footage for Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
It's a book series.
Redgar, Forbidden Island. Yeah, we'll see you all for the next part.
The Threadcar sucks.
Turn to Chapter 3.
Okay.